What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yes, I know that I have been MIA for a while, and that's because your girl was under the weather, but I am back. So, this is going to be a review of the latest episode, which is season 6, episode 26. But I'm also going to throw in some opinions about the previous episodes. So, let's just jump right into it. So, we start this episode off with Stormy getting Tiffany and Kiki together. Y'all, this whole time that I've been out, Stormy has been on a mission to get Tiffany and Kiki to have a conversation. Now, within this conversation that happened, I must say that Kiki handled herself very well. She definitely addressed the issues that she had with Tiffany. Tiffany, you definitely brought your baby there just in case Kiki got a little rowdy. That's how I feel. And moving forward, do I feel like Tiffany has changed her thought about Kiki? No. I still believe that Tiffany thinks that she's better than Kiki. You can't tell me that she don't. However, for the sake of this scene, she's going to agree with Kiki and try to get to know her one on one. We'll see if that ever happens. But back to Stormy real quick. Y'all, Stormy gave us a whole storyline that we never got. Okay? She talks about how she almost lost it all with her business. And every time on season 5 she would talk about her business, it seemed like it was booming. Okay? It seemed like Canvas Beauty was doing big numbers and all of that, when really behind the scenes, they were struggling. And I'm just like, where was that storyline? Because you're showing us after everything has happened. Like, the only storyline that we got with Stormy is that her cousin, he used to play on his phone all day instead of work. Like, I would have liked to know how you really overcame, almost losing your house, almost losing your full business. But I guess that's what we got. Moving forward, y'all, we have Martell and Chris. First things first, Martell has finally moved out of this man's house. I'm so glad. It has taken, I don't know how many episodes, but Martell is finally gone. Basically, the whole point of this conversation is that Chris is going to tell Martell that you can't talk to my wife the way you be talking to everybody else. Because we all know that Martell and Neil, they got into a disagreement because she was going to Melody's name change ceremony, which is absolutely crazy. Like, why are you so mad, huffing and puffing in your chest because Nell is going to an event that Melody is throwing? Like, yeah, I understand it may hurt your little feelings that she no longer wants to be a Holt, but you already knew that. You already knew that Melody no longer wanted to be associated with you. So why are you acting like this is news? Why are you acting like this is such a dig to you? Martell is tiring. Like, one thing that I can say is that Martell Holt will drain you. We already saw how he drained Melody, and thank God she left that situation. But he is such a woe is me type of person. I can't deal with it. Not at all. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on because we actually see Kimmy and Letitia. Now, they have not been on the past couple of episodes, and the fact that they came to us with this foolishness, I was over it. Why in the world did Letitia whip out a pregnancy test? Girl, stop playing with us. First of all, we saw your husband get a vasectomy on the show. Like, we were all there. Why are you playing with us? Because if anything, it looks like you could have been the one that possibly cheated on your husband. That was dumb. Nonetheless, Letitia, she basically felt away about Melody because she kept asking questions when it came to the her and Kiki drama. But girl, y'all just had a big old blow up. Nobody knows what's really going on between you and Kiki. So yeah, it does sound crazy for you to just be like, yeah, she just threw a drink on me out of nowhere. Girl, what could have led up to that? That's all Melody was trying to figure out. Now, when it comes to Letitia, she talks about how she's very overwhelmed, and now she's thinking about leaving work and becoming a stay-at-home mom again. Now, here's my thing. What does she actually do for the company as far as Scout, I don't know. I don't know if she does the paperwork. I don't know exactly what she does. However, I can absolutely see how she's being spread thin just by their DIY home projects. Because the fact that they were supposed to be building their dream house, then they moved to another property that they had, then they're renovating that place, they moved into an apartment. Like, it was too many moving parts happening. Then y'all trying to launch a new business and do this, do that. I feel like the Scots have their hands in way too many pots and they won't accomplish one thing yet, but they still trying to accomplish five, and it's not working. Like, you cannot have your hands in 50,000 pots and thinking that you really going to reach all these goals. Like, I just feel like they have way too many construction projects happening all at one time, and they have yet to accomplish one thing. Not a one thing has been accomplished yet. But I digress. Now, out of all the things that she said in that conversation, I was actually shocked when Tisha said that Marcel was the one who suggested that they go see a marriage counselor. And then that made me wonder, does he mean Dr. Francis? Or will he be bringing in somebody else because he doesn't care for Dr. Francis? Because y'all remember, he didn't really like Dr. Francis like that. But we shall see if we even see a counseling session with the Scots. But let's go ahead and move on. So we see Chris, and he talks to his son, Chris Jr. Now, y'all already know that I'm going to give my opinion of that dinner with his family. First things first, when it comes to their daughter, Alexis, I feel like there's a lot of factors that are not being talked about, but we're going to talk about it right quick. Do I feel like Alexis was treated completely different from her siblings? There may be a possibility that she was. However, one thing that I want to point out is the fact that we have no idea what role her mother plays in this situation. And what I mean by that is maybe your mom did not want them to buy you a luxury car. And what I mean by that is, if y'all know Candy and Todd from Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have all seen that they raise their children very differently when it comes to Riley and when it comes to Kayla. Now, Kayla is Todd's daughter from a previous relationship, and Riley is Candy's daughter from a previous relationship. When it comes to Todd, he likes for Kayla to work for her things. He likes for her to, not have the most lavish or whatever, so that way when she works for it, that's what she can get it for herself. However, you have Candy on the other hand, and the way she raises Riley is Riley can have all the luxury that she wants. Because we have the money, why not? So, again, I have no idea what role Alexis's mother plays in this. Also, there was a part where Chris says that he was having a hard time. However, he did do better when it came to Alexis when they were talking outside. He was standing outside of the car. And again, I don't know. They could have been having a custody battle when Alexis was smaller. We have no idea. So I feel like there's some added factors that's not being said when it comes to Alexis. And that mama, I feel like she got something to do with it. I'm just saying. Also, another thing that I wanted to point out, because she mentions that the younger two kids are the ones who got the luxury cars, right? But I'm thinking, did Chris and Nell come into money later on when those kids got older versus when Alexis got older? And what I mean by that is seems like about a 10-year age gap between the first set of kids and the second set of kids. So they may not have had the money like that, or they may have just now been getting their money up when you were growing up, Alexis, and then by the time the other two came along, they were more established. That's a thing as well. I'm just saying, there's a lot of factors that could be going into this. Now, when it came to them doing all that yelling at that table, I felt like they were playing it up for the camera, for sure. When Neil told her to shut up, I did not blame Neil for that, because at the end of the day, Alexis, all you had to do was follow the conversation. You sit right next to the conversation where they're saying that Chris went to jail. Why are you questioning who went to jail? We've already established that it was Chris. Who else would it be at the table? Nonetheless, I do think that their family needs a whole lot of counseling. But moving on to this current situation with Chris's son, Chris Jr., I definitely think that he is battling some depression. I think that he doesn't know what to do with himself. He doesn't exactly know what he should be doing as a career. I felt like I heard him mention something about some studio time. So maybe he wants to be a rapper. I don't really know. But when it comes to him and those dogs, sir, you gotta pay your mama. Like, there is no if and buts about it. Pay your mama something, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't even have to pay her the whole thing. If you just slide down probably $2,000, I'm pretty sure she will be okay with giving you your dogs back. Now, one thing that I will say is that I think that his dog may be like on some emotional support type dog, but he not saying it because again he hasn't been diagnosed with anything. He hasn't, really gotten his mind together. So I think that he should definitely see somebody, as far as a counselor, go see a therapist, somebody. And I also want him to get his dogs because I feel like his dogs actually provide him with some emotional support. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on to this last scene. So we see Big Louie and we see Tiffany, okay? This is the last scene that they are filming, you guys. I mean, they broke the whole fourth wall because at the end of the day, Tiffany underestimated herself when it came to having a baby, okay? For some reason, she thought this was going to be just like when she had her first child and she was in for a rude awakening. This is not. She's stressed out about being a new mom. She still has her career. Then she's trying to do this show on top of that. Lewis has gotten a new job and life is just happening right now. And clearly, Tiffany is in a whirlwind. So they are going to take a step back from the show. So I guess she could get her mental back up. Yeah, I think this is a great idea for them to step away from the show. Now, do I think that Lewis and Tiffany need to come back? No, I don't. I don't think that they need to come back. However, I will say that I did enjoy the messiness of Tiffany sometimes, just because she would say things that nobody else would really say out loud. But besides that, we don't really need it. At the end of the day, I think this is the best decision. Go raise your son, well, your sons, because you got three, and move on. That's what I think. But y'all, that was the episode. I feel like nothing really happened within these past 3 episodes, if I'm being honest. So hopefully next week, things can be better. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about these past 3 episodes. I'm just trying to get back into the groove of things. Let's talk about it in the comments. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.